А? Не закрывай. Так, раз, проверим звук. Отлично. Классический интернет опять отвалился. Роутер я еще не поменял, поэтому, увы. Вот продолжаем, на паузу нажал. Так что, let's go. Особо много ничего не поменялось.
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism.
А, вот она, что мы там
One
пим. Точно,
secured
мелодию
such a
уже там
tune
записывал.
from Streetward Rambler.
Это этот,
Only
граммофон
with her
местный.
melodies can the mechanism reach its peak.
Гов до хрена, тоже воспроизведите музыку.
Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass after a super satisfying meal.
And you and I.
А, уж вырубилась. Она же старенькая.
It appears she has already
Бабуля
succumbed
всегда
to the
быстро
depths of
вырубается.
reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
Давайте. Стоя, да хоть бы положили ее, что ли. Она журавль, что ли, стоя спать.
О,
ну хоть воспоминания показывают.
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Ой, дедуля.
Please, no.
И что, все? Пока ничего не понятно.
Have you forgotten?
А, было понятно, что засуха какая-то была.
This is the world
А про
you
нее
left
писали.
behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should
А,
have never
все-таки да,
left.
она все-таки этот,
The you of
журавль.
the past.
белый, тот, который, про который говорила девочка.
We should have never.
То есть она адепт, по
So
идее.
that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar. Granny!
Брынк-брынк, вот и.
Granny, are you okay?
У журавля
Cloud.
бубенцы, тыдын, туда-сюда. Вот все не
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean you already knew each other?
А это все знала.
I now remember everything. Everything. Granny, please don't cry. I'm here. I'm here. Oh, don't worry, my dear child. Granny is fine. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was the truth of what I once was.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a
То есть все-таки ты все сначала знала. Зараза. Шарахала нас
Perhaps one
туда-сюда.
should recount the story on your behalf while you compose yourself.
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on. Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story.
Да уже рассказывай, что вы вокруг да около.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter. I love you more than anything. Nothing you say can change that. I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same.
It is for this reason that you deserve to know the truth. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never atone.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Dragon Cars?
А не будет мультиков
What
какого-нибудь?
happened?
Обычно мультики показывают. Интересные.
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain,
То есть она все-таки не
Cloud
адепт.
Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to
Она была
me.
просто журавлем.
Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I
Это
even
много выходцев.
contemplated
То из
completing my
океаниды
training and becoming
людьми
an
становятся, то
adeptus in my
журавли.
own right. I followed her
Может,
teachings,
люди-то вообще и не
and
люди,
time gradually passed us
а
by
вон эволюционирующие
until that
существа
fateful
местные.
day 50 years ago.
50 years ago?
Когда Лие поразила страшная засуха.
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the past. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went. But I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither
То
human,
есть ей технически надо было обратно
beast,
вернуться.
nor adeptus.
Она решила...
Oh no.
А она, видимо,
that was
залетела в тот
The
момент.
source of your dementia all along.
Залетела и не хотела превращаться обратно.
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as well. Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. Yet I did not want to leave his side, so I...
Ты
Oh
забила.
no. What happened next?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a
В монстров она,
monstrosity.
получается, не превратилась.
I knew I had
Ну, мозг
betrayed
её поплыл,
Master's
конечно.
hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me again.
Вот она что. И безымянная героиня ушла от пира.
But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead.
То есть у тебя
Along
мозг
with
птички
my
вернулся,
memories
поэтому
as a
все
crane,
поплыло.
I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same
Это поди
time.
она ходила,
If it weren't for
превратилась в
those soul
чувака
revitalizing tea pills,
и
I
продавала этот.
probably would have.
Granny, what's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? No, it couldn't be. Master, don't tell me. Back then, that merchant was actually...
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
Но опять же, на 10 лет получается. Раз в 10
So
лет
when I
нужно
tried to
обновляться.
conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive was myself. You knew where I was all along.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular game.
Ну там
You
крабик
hide
на фоне.
yourself among a group of
Тык-тык-тык-тык-тык.
wild cranes and
Откуда он здесь
asked
вообще?
one to pick you
Это
out
же
from
гора.
among the flock. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what form they may take.
Wait! Paimon's confused! So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after that?
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Давай, рассказывай. А вот и мультик, походу, да? Ну или что-то похожее. А, мы будем за нее ходить. Прынк. Прынк. Адепт тоже вкусом не
One was
обделена.
furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
Вкус есть, она себе такое тело создала. Модное. Молодежное. Куда идем мы? А, вот это уже, походу, новая область, да? Я могу открыть карту? А, нет. Не новая, это где-то в подсознании или что-то отдельно создано. Какие-то воспоминания непонятные. А, это ван-шоу. Окей. Теперь мы сейчас на лодке поплывем, да?
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side.
А, то есть, ну, изначально ты на
Unwilling to
профессиональный его
begrudge
навык
someone of
стрелял,
such
потом стрелял как он
character.
человек.
One decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies, glaring though they may have been. Wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for
Усы себе
Wangshu
приклеила.
Inn. As one expected,
Как она такие
you
сиськи
were most
спрятала?
ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
О, у нее такие когти. Даже не ногти, а когти прям точно. Так, мы идем дальше, да? История продолжается. Видимо, сейчас будет следующая локация, где там были пересечения. Так. И как мне? Врата возрождения? Еще драться с кем-то придется, что ли? А ведь точно. А что мы делаем? Она же историю рассказывает. Почему я должен здесь драться? Можно мне открыть? Как мне туда попасть?
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable.
Давай еще раз. Я упал. Да почему она ныряет? Там вода снизу, что ли? О. Оп. Достаточно. Там он снизу есть что-то. Можно, наверное, было туда перелететь. Тогда сюда. И, наверное, еще один был бы путь. Тут вообще он летающий-то кусочки. Она что-то говорила, а я умер и прервал ее. Отстой. Да куда мы идем? А, это их дом. Вот барьер. Ну я за нее уже играл.
Seize the skies.
Нормально, сейчас всех разберем. Хоть подраться дали, а то болтология одна.
Stray clouds converge.
Ты чё, пёс? Ну, устройство рядом летает, как дрон. Просто отстреливаться. А сундук будет? Или нет, нет, не будет?
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly
А,
remains.
вот почему они за ним бежали, окей. А вот и барьер, который поставил.
Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one scent on your body. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by
Хороший
contractions of
изобретатель,
one's
раз
very
с
making.
ее изобретением
In
богов
the
можно было
end,
убить.
one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although certain mortal matters remain foreign to me, one could not help but be moved by your joy. To see you happy, that was more than enough.
И она ее, видимо, отпустила, да? Ну, мы сейчас что-то еще узнаем новое. Идем дальше. Тын-тын-тын-тын-тын.
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait,
А, как
but if
примерно
that's
было.
true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
Сейчас ее перескажет. Что это за белый журавль был? Тын-тын-тын-тын. А. Так. Это город. Видимо, где она болела, да? Подожди, а мне куда? Вот здесь нужно идти, да? Hello?
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache.
Почему?
Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true adeptus Because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe.
Вот
One
так
had
вот
no
все
choice but to
подстраивалось
apply
под всех.
powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring.
Но получилось-то
It
красиво.
bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuandai was nearly entirely pure white, the essence of her being. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one.
Так, вот она историю рассказала. Окей.
Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, Yuandai. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin restaurant. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a
Красивую
satisfactory
точку. То
end
есть сейчас
with
ты ее
this
обратно в
visit to
журавля
Liyue Harbor.
перекрасишь, да?
Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished
Ну вот и
memories would
объяснение, почему
merely
мы
have become
шарахались
the
везде, не сразу
fictionalized
пошли.
account of another.
Понятно.
Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree? Even if the process was painful and arduous to experience. Have you any further inquiries?
Master, I
Ну,
must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Outsong by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary,
вот
and
это
the night
хорошие,
grows dark,
мудрые слова, я бы сказал.
just know that you always have a place to which to return. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return.
Ну, то есть технически она сейчас все вспомнила
One rather
и
hopes you count yourself
может
among
идти
them.
дальше жить. Или она должна обратно в птицу перевестись.
Thank you.
Превратиться, в смысле.
Thank you so much.
You and I.
Ну так-то на 500 лет живет уже,
One
нормально так.
expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. Have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time,
Нет, не 500, ладно, 40 лет назад.
merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its
Если
final
представить, что она там была
destination.
20-летняя, то здесь сейчас ей 60
Even
примерно,
the
да?
power of an adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along by providing some guidance,
Технически
the
заставила
result
мозг
is
работать.
entirely a reflection of your own effort.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be
Ну
fated,
все-таки обратно в
she may
журавля,
recover
понятно.
her sentience one day.
Ну так она здесь живет, и все.
She's gotta go
Внучка
back to
пускай
being a
приходит
regular crane, huh?
и проведет ее. И нет другого выхода.
Master, you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for. How much time do I have left?
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left. Please.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind.
Так, а в смысле, приходи на эту гору, да,
Don't
журавль
forget
есть
to eat
журавль.
well, okay?
Наш никто не
A
свалил.
growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm
Вот так вот.
gone.
Всегда. Дети должны решать вопросы взрослых.
I promise.
Даже
Granny.
маленькие.
I'll do whatever you say.
Good girl, good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outside.
Боевой журавль.
Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's that sound?
Good.
That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes.
Так, а вот она сейчас куда? Она
I'll wait for
мелкая.
you to come back.
Технически без роста
That's a
не
good
может быть.
girl.
Что, все
Then
ее?
Granny
Где дом?
really has more regrets.
Или куда?
I'm
Или у
so
адепта
sorry,
будет?
Master. Thank you for everything.
Давай, магию свою твори. Превращай ее обратно. Или она сейчас в воду зайдет, и там превратится, нет? А нет, здесь. Вот и журавль. И улетела. Интересно, воспоминания ее сохранятся или нет?
Shoo-you.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event. Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery.
Ты так говоришь?
Solved. You should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake you in due time.
И мы сейчас это спать под музычку. Да? А, вот и мультик в конце. Ну, она вернулась. Уже все, натренировалась, что ли? Или это просто сон?
I always believed we would see each other again.
О,
That
опять
our
он
days
говорит.
of separation would finally end. And all my troubles would be behind me.
Судя по ее светяшкам, она обладает силой льда. То есть в Снежной мы ее встретим.
If only things could stay this way forever.
nightmare. Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up.
Я думал, тема со снами это сумеровская тема. Ты принцесса, Гарри.
Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young.
Ну да, она и похожа на его мамку. О!
Grilled chicken drumsticks.
Пайман. Ну, собственно говоря, здесь все очевидно. Интересно, она палец откусит?
Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now? Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all. Madam Adeptus? Oh, Shuyu, you're awake. How do you feel? I feel a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam Adeptus, could I
Опа.
ask you something?
Ну, собственно говоря, да. Куда ей еще идти-то?
Take me in as a disciple?
Oh, and have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though
Девочка,
Granny lost her
рожденная
memories,
от
she
журавля.
never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Сколько у нее
Thank you
учеников?
so
Раз,
much, Madam
два,
Adeptus.
три,
No.
четверо уже или трое?
I mean,
Рогастая,
Master.
это прямолинейная,
Shuyu, are you sure about this?
и вот это получается. Ладно,
Paimon's gonna
трое.
let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's two other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like chin-chin and violet grass. If you join them, you'll never enjoy One-Man Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
А мы сами первый раз готовили для
Although
нее,
Mount
по-моему.
Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
Whoa, you're leaving Mount Outsong?
И поэтому ты приняла человеческий облик.
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has sought only solace and peace. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai. They all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. A failing, perhaps, of recognizing what it was they truly wanted. One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the
Это
matter,
логичный вывод.
but
Типа, сама
perhaps
поживу,
some time in the
посмотрю,
harbor
что
will
да как.
prove instructive.
Едой нормально попитаюсь.
Why are you all so silent?
Paimon
А что говорить?
just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal
Только не говори,
together
что
in
мы
Liyue
сейчас на
Harbor
ужин
sometime?
попремся с ней.
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea.
Ладно.
One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Да, окей, окей.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
А как же зарабатывать? Бабки-то откуда брать? Ну, ладно, ты продаешь.
Seems like you've really thought of
Это
everything.
череда зарабатывания и трат.
Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
Понятно, мы еще будем в Льюе встречаться. Не будем, не
A
сегодня.
sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspensus somnium mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies. It might help you find a new perspective.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer! Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out?
Подождите 2 дня.
Should we
Это
make a
нам
trip to
дали.
the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you.
Технически вроде как даже к концу подходит. Ну, давай, ладно. Пару дней подождем, получается. И закончим уже эту миссию. Я надеюсь, мы там сейчас поужинаем, и вот это вот все, и конец. Тик-так, 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 тик-так. Все? Как долго 2 дня? Прекрасный сон. Вот нам сюда. Домик, видимо, наш покажет свой. Или еще что-нибудь. Давай по-быстрому. Главное, чтобы мне сейчас пересечения было. Тут же праздник этот идет, дурацкий. О. Алло.
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is hardly necessary.
Она столкнулась с торговлей.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary cause for concern. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life. I have to be careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
Ладно, ладно.
Miss Shenyan, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares.
Ты
I'll
не
have
говоришь
you
ему, что ты
know,
адепт?
these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly.
Several hundred years?
Сама спалилась, понятно.
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see. Passed
Ладно,
down over
вышла из
many
ситуации.
generations, as families are wont to do.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can vouch for her on
Но мы эти
Hear
личности
that?
известные,
Had I
поэтому
not found myself in need of more,
на слово
I
можно
would
верить.
scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eyes. Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items. If you could wait but a moment.
Что-то я зря, походу, продолжил, надо было заканчивать. Сейчас еще
An expert,
проболтает
you say?
полдня.
Very well. I will wait for a little while longer then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future, this is where you can find me.
Ладно.
Master! Oh, it's you two again.
О, у него новая одежда, смотри.
You got a new outfit! It looks great on you.
Потенциально это будет потом новый
I like
персонаж,
it too.
раз он у нас ученик.
You know how to make clothes?
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism, sewing is hardly a challenge.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so I just left them outside.
Fret not, I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything's kind of messy right now, so maybe you could not look yet, Master? Yeah, that'd be great.
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Do what you must, child.
Ну, все, давайте
Now,
заканчивать уже.
this expert you mentioned. When can we expect their arrival?
Soon. Ah, there he is!
А это Ян Фэй, поди, да? Нет?
Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhang Li, a
Ah.
well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an expert in all manner of valuables and antiques.
Он-то сейчас точно знает, что
Mr.
это
Zhang
подлинный.
Li, this is Miss Shen Yun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned
Встреча века
earlier.
просто.
Huh.
If it isn't Miss Shenyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhangli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and
Ты
peace.
про праздник говоришь, что ли?
Huh. So you two are already acquainted?
Потому что
Indeed.
именно там он чай пил.
How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Shenyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft-celebrated for her impeccable taste. You stand to gain much from this opportunity.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhangli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say
Мы
without a
здесь зачем
doubt that you
стоим?
are
Просто
foremost
выслушиваем вот
in that
эти
regard.
торгашеские
Why,
разговоры.
you flatter me, Miss Shenyun. It would seem that you are as self-effacing as ever.
Not at all, Mr. Zhangli. Not at all.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, I must ask, you two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me? I mean, you never know.
Кстати,
Preposterous
хорошее,
accusation. The heavens themselves would collapse before we would
хорошее
conspire
замечание.
to do such a thing.
А если это сговор?
Miss
Сейчас все бабки из
Shenyun
него.
speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance, this transaction may be taken elsewhere.
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still harbor
Да
doubts
хватит,
after Mr. Zhang Li
заканчивайте
himself has
болтать.
vouched for the goods? Miss Shenyun, wait!
Я уже просто устал от вас. И 3 точки, да. Это именно мое настроение.
I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose,
Механизм
its
непонятно
structure
зачем,
and
просто
appearance are
поставьте в
exquisite
углу,
enough
будет
to merit it a
украшением.
place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric grace. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend procuring every last item in this collection.
А что у нас из
All
механики?
right.
Наверное, в фонтейне можно
Since I
что-нибудь
hired you as my
попродавать.
consultant,
Там
Mr.
довольно
Zhongli, I
много
shall,
механики.
of course, trust your good opinion.
Робот ходит.
Then, in that case, Miss Shenyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland Bank?
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house. Oh, very well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now. I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
Все. Этот ушел. Сейчас мы с ними поболтаем и, надеюсь, закончим.
My friends, have you been doing well?
Да в смысле?
We've been
Нормально
great.
поживаем.
How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested my services. As for you, Miss Shenyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Shenyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet in further conversation.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true, but... Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it.
Может,
One
нам
is
выйти?
hardly ignorant
Чем мы
of
вас
that
слушаем?
fact.
Ваши любовные мур-мур-мур.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous stays were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and
Вообще,
commotion of the
этот
city,
городок-то
as
красивый.
well as the people's hard work
Смотреть.
and ardor. This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another 1,000 years, the scene we witness here may change in ways that are impossible for either of us to imagine.
All right, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all
Да,
sentimental on
действительно.
us.
Все. Пойдемте
You
жрать.
make a
Или
valid
что?
point, Paimon.
Или заканчивать давай.
Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together? One must profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Да вот не насрать.
Oh? What occasion was this?
Пойдемте уже куда-нибудь.
It was a reunion
Заканчивать
between
надо.
friends several
Заканчивать.
centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that occasion.
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple-layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Спасибо, хранитель облаков.
Shu, come now. It is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhongli. He is,
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhongli. That should be everyone, right? Let's go!
Да, но я не пойду. Не сегодня, в следующий раз. А то мы не закончим эту болтологию вообще никогда.
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff. Is that true?
that sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparation, certain
Подожди, мне не
dishes
дадут,
can
да,
be too
на
delicious
паузу
to
включить?
resist.
Отстой.
Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
Или это типа конец миссии? О, аллилуйя. Оно закончилось, да. Благо жрать не пришлось с ними. А то бы это точно не закончилось. Ну, собственно говоря, все. Буду заканчивать. И вот сейчас у меня последнее развлечение на сегодня. Это покрутить. Хочу на хиду. Посмотрим, что получится. Погнали. Десяток раз. Опа! Что-то летит хорошее. Так, предвестник. Меч. Ноэль. Меч. Шар. И мне выпала Кэцин. Это же дубль у меня уже. Она уже C1, по-моему. Меч. 5 звезд выпало. Да, это дубликат. Это, конечно, кайф. Но я хотел на хиду. Ладно. Сойдет. Так, я могу докупить. Могу... этих могу только 2 докупить. То есть я все купил уже, да? Но я могу вот этих купить. 3. Мне не хватает 20 штук. Ну да ладно, по очереди помолюсь. Посмотрим, может повезет еще. Let's go. Нет, здесь синий. Листаем дальше. И еще разок. Оп. Но здесь уже фиолетово летит что-то. Фарузан. И опять дубликат. Ладно. Погнали дальше. Снова синяя. Эх. Еще раз. Снова синяя. Листаем. Еще 5 круточек. Синяя. И опять синяя. Еще 3. Интересно, что-нибудь упадет? Зайти. 2 крутки получается. Нет. И последняя крутка здесь. О! Хотя бы фиолетово что-то приехало. Церемониальный меч. У меня, кстати, такого не было. А, нет. Нет. У меня такого не было. Еще крутка, получается, есть. Могу еще одну купить. И погнали. Ну, понятно, что нет, ничего не выпадет. Что логично. Я могу вот этих купить. И у меня есть крутки вот здесь. Аж 17 штук. Поэтому тоже порамолимся, посмотрим. Может, повезет что-нибудь. Погнали. Нет, фиолетово упало. Эх, меч. Двуручный меч. Но это... Меч, копье, лук, меч. Еще одна фиолетовая. Двуручный меч. Короче, 2 фиолетки падало. Ну, уже больше, чем ничего. Еще есть 7 круток, так что... Подожди, даже не 7. Даже 9 получается. Я все скупил. Сейчас доступно. Да, погнали. Еще 9 раз. Синяя. 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 И снова синяя. И опять синяя. И уже какой раз синяя. И опять. Пока все хрень падает. Нет. Ну и последняя крутка, видимо. И снова синяя. Вот это удивительно обычно. Ну, получается, в следующий раз будет уже что-то интересное. Ну, что я могу сказать? Во-первых, тут 50 молитв. Все 50 молитв уже прогнал. Неплохо. Вообще, мне, получается, кто выпал? Вот это мне выпало, кацин. Подробнее. Она мне C1, получается, да. Вот так вот. Но я ее не вкачивал, очень не бегал. Мне выпала еще Ноэль. Тоже она у меня уже C4. И, по-моему, Фарузан еще падала, да? Да. Она у меня C2. Ну и куча мечей, конечно, упала. Ладно. Но Лего упало, уже хорошо. Вот. Ладно, все, на сегодня буду заканчивать. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Чуть задержался, конечно. Саша, поздравляю. Да, спасибо. Спасибо. Вот. Следующий стрим уже будет на следующей неделе. Расписание закину в телегу. Ссылка есть в описании канала. Вот. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайки. Если есть что сказать, пишите комментарии. Ну и всем до новых встреч. Пока-пока.